Apex Online Racing is sponsored by Elgato, who created this lovely stream deck. For more information about the stream deck, the link is in the description below. Good evening, everybody, and welcome along once again to Apex Online Racing. This is Season 20 of Xbox One F1, and we are here at round number 13 at the Hungaroring for the Hungarian Grand Prix. It is basically like Monaco without the barriers, and that rings true as there aren't many circuits on the calendar where there's little margin for error. It's hosted the Hungarian Grand Prix every year since 1986. The track layout has been opened up very slightly over the decades, but still retained its twistly and tighty nature. Overtaking can be really difficult around here, but we have to find out as the drivers make their way through this amazing circuit. My name is Jess, and I will be your commentator throughout this evening's race, and I'm sure it's going to be an absolute cracker. We only got 12 drivers here tonight, but I'm sure this race is going to have lots to remember as the evening is to come. So make sure you still watch us for the entirety of the broadcast. So here we go then. We are riding on board with Hawk, who's had a really astonishing last few races. Actually, he got his second win last week in Great Britain, and to be honest, it was well deserving for the Williams driver, as he's on the intermediate tyres, getting a feel for the track, as a few of the other drivers are as well, for those of you that don't have a clue why they're on the intermediate tyres. So let's go on board with someone who's not on the intermediate tyres, and that is Squishy Panda. Now, Squishy Panda currently sits P7 in the standings. Her best result in the last few races with a P5 in Austria and also in Baku. She also got a P2 in China as well. So there's still some time to be left on the table for her as well. She has invalidated her lap, and I've got to say, I think we could see a few invalidations as well, which means less opportunities for a majority of these guys to get the lap in as much as possible. Now, Hungary is 4.3 kilometers long. It has 14 turns, 6 to the left and 8 to the right, and it has only one DRS zone heading into, actually it's heading into the start-finish straight and then heading into turn 1 and 2 as well. So DRS zones follow consecutively there. We already have one more timing already, who I think looks like Callum binned it by the edge of turn 5 and 6, it looks like. So he'll be starting at the back of the grid as well. And I've got to say, for setup wise for these drivers, high downforce is very, very key around this circuit. If you don't get the downforce right, then it's going to cost you. You've got to make sure you get your setup nailed on, because the dirty air and the twisty nature of this track is going to make it impossible to overtake. So they've got to have really the skill in order to make sure that they can provide some great results tonight. Don't know why some of these guys are still in the intermediates though. That's why I'm a little bit confused. That's why I don't want to follow these guys too much. But there we go. As 127 was the fastest on the intermediate tyres right now. I think they're trying to do it F1 esports style, I've got to say. But I thought you would go into the pits right now. So it's a bit too hard to be desired, but there we go. So we've got 13 minutes left to go, and whilst we do that, we'll go through the standings right now of our drivers. Now, not everyone could make it tonight. However, Humperdinck leads the standings with 165 points, with a 15-point gap over Bobbert in second with 150 points. Third place is Lefted with 127 points. Fourth place is Tom with 113 points. 5th place is Jonah with 108 points. 6th place is Hawk. He's looking to make his way up the standings tonight. He's on 85 points. 1 point behind him is Squishy Panda in 7th. 8th place is one of the Ferraris with 82 points. 9th place is LGS with 62 points. 10th place is Alfio with 60. 11th is Daegu. 12th is Amaze. 13th is Jam Pancakes. 14th is Jakey. 15th is John Pap. 16th is GC. And 17th is Monty. So there we go. So I think more people are going to be going on to the soft tyres now. And Squishy Panda looks like she's going out again. And so is John Pap as well. Now, John Pap hasn't had the most luck this season. The only best result that he had was in China, where he got a P5. Everything else, he either had a DNF or a P11. There was one race where he was so close on getting a point, but he just missed out, which was, in a way, frustrating for him. But he's probably going to use tonight as motivation to do well in this league and possibly try to succeed. And as John Pat gets to the OS, let's follow him around this lap then as he takes his way through sector 1 here. You just passed heading into, I think, the start of sector 2 in a second as you head towards turn 4. Purple sector 1. And now heading towards turn 5, and he has invalidated. So unfortunately, the curse continues with me commentating on a lap that gets invalidated. So a lot to be desired for John Pat, but let's see if anyone else is actually on the lap. Hopefully Squishy Panda can get our lap time cleaner this time, I've got to say. Loving the pink helmet, fully on the flesh as well. I might do a little bit of a helmet review. I'm still a bit confused about these intermediate tyres, but hopefully these guys... Oh, Squishy Panda made a mistake. And unfortunately, that's commentator's curse, I think, for Squishy Panda. A lot left to be desired as AMS Tom now goes fastest with a 1:13.4. I could expect, I think, times to be around about the 1:12s, I've got to say, for Tom. He's looking pretty good, in fact, on those soft tyres. We've got LGS on the mediums, though. I'm guessing LGS is going to go for the alternate strategy. I have seen the alternate strategy work a few times around this circuit, as Squishy Panda's got to get past traffic, because I'm not sure if she's going into the pit. Yeah, she is going into the pits right now for another run. And hopefully John Pat could have some better luck. He's actually on the lap this time, which is good. And he is looking very, very impressive in the Red Bull outfit. It's probably going to be higher, maybe, obviously, than Jonah. But let's see. John Pat comes across the line. And it is a P2 for him. Only a few temps difference separate between him and the racing point. So it is fine, a little left to be desired, I've got to say. But expect times to be very close between Tom and maybe Lefted as well. Hawk too, if they can get on the soft tyres, or the mediums potentially as well. This could be quite close, but we'll just have to find out very, very soon. And I think we could have an investigation of people being on the wrong tyres for the conditions. So, you know, I think some of these guys were doing it on purpose so they don't start on the soft compounder tyres. But you shouldn't really do that in this type of scenario. You should be going on the tyres that are better suited to conditions, and into the definitely not. Luckily, Tom is on the right tyres anyway, so he won't get penalised. So, if any of these guys are watching, a big penalty will probably go their way if they don't change to either the mediums, the hards, or the softs right now. So, yeah. And I think the only one on track is Amaze, and you could just see the inters just not on the, you know, I don't know why. I'm still blown away on why they're doing this, to be honest, but I thought they would just be going for 1 lap installation on the intermediate tyres, but it just seems like that they're just in for the giggles, and it's just sad to see, you know. It's just very sad. But we're seeing more people all going on to the dry tyres, so luckily they won't get penalised or anything. But yeah, I'm sure a few people will be investigated for that kerfuffle, I think, as well. It's fine. It's fine for just like maybe just 1 lap, but not for longer. And I can see Tom wants to go even faster. The track will evolve soon, and assuming a lot of people are on the mediums, it could mean that we got a dry race, because otherwise a lot more people would be on the soft compounded tyres otherwise. So, you know, there'll be more people on the mediums otherwise. So here comes Tom. Just part the tricky, I would say just the bending, the chicane in sector 2 is probably the trickiest corner around this circuit, as John Papp is also out, who just came out of the pit as well. These guys have both got to get the heat into the tyres. But there we go then, Tom going for his next run on the, it looks like it is the soft tyres again. So hopefully he has enough soft tyres for the race if he ever gets to use them again, if there's trouble, for example, because you always have to have a contingency plan going into this. If you don't have a contingency plan, then you're in deep trouble. You're in deep trouble coming into this as well. So maybe that's what Tom has got to think about. John Plapp, I know, has got a plan B, because he knows that he hasn't got enough soft tyres available. So that's why he's getting a few runs on the intermediate tyres. So there he goes around the left-hander here. I'm moving to the right a little bit on exit. And he's getting perfect temperature to the tyres, I must say. But will this be enough to be to keep on pace with the fastest medium runners? Now let me just get the best times up for you as well, just so I can see that. Tom now is just, Tom has invalidated again. I wonder if it was the same corner that before, where a few people got caught in the race. So Tom goes in now, 5 minutes to go. He's probably going to wait just for a few more minutes before he comes in, and that'll be it for him. John Papp has also invalidated, looks like, into turn 4 and 5. I thought more people would invalidate around here, I would say, but sadly, fortunately not. But it may be something that we need to keep an eye on in the race. So let's see if anyone has gone on to the medium tyre. Jonah is as well, so that's good news. So Jonah, don't forget, Jonah is the guy to watch out for in the championship as well. Jonah got a race victory in Baku. I keep talking about it every week, but, you know, it's still in his mind. He's got to think about it. He's been consistent, though. He's got a P7 in Canada, a P7 in France, a P4 in Austria, and a P7 in Great Britain. So he's liking the P7s at the moment, I've got to say. So let's see if he can get any heat into those tyres. And I think he's going to have advantage being on clear air as well. But he's going to have a disadvantage that he's not going to have the chance to maybe go out for one final lap. He's probably going to hope there's going to be rain at some point. So and he's using quite a few ERS as well. And just look at that. He probably must have been watching the stream or something, because he's setting the times alight right now. Purple in sector 1. Absolutely crazy for him right now. I didn't see what his sector 1 time was, but let's see what he said. He's using a lot of curb as he possibly can, but I wonder in my team, I wonder if there'll be some sensor issues if you get caught in the curbs like that. But, you know, Jonah has got a lot of catching up to do. Purple sector 2, 53.4 for him. And there is a yellow flag, so that he may be forced to slow down just a little bit longer. And let's just see then, when he comes across the line, what time can he put? Can he get this enough for pole? Can it be purple in sector 3? No, he can't. A 1:14.9 for him, but still good to almost match the pace of the soft runners, which is impressive. We got a Maze on the soft tyre. Now let's see what he could do in the Mercedes as well. For those of you that haven't watched the Grand Prix, don't, spoiler alert, just mute it just for about a minute or so as a Maze has just binned it. And yeah, just I'll give you a pre-advance warning right now just to mute because I'll be talking about the Grand Prix that happened in real life. And I've got to say, the Mercedes had really bad luck towards the end of the race. And it was really heartbreaking, I've got to say. But it was great to see Sergio Perez take the race win. His first win and the first Mexican podium since 1970 as well. Which, to be honest, he deserved that win. I thought he wasn't going to do it after lap 1. But, you know, he absolutely did it. And he just shone today. And 1 minute left to go then, with a few people about to start their flyer lap. Bobbers and LGS though, as well as Daegu, Humperdinck, Lefted, Hawk, Amaze. They got a lot of work to do if they want to get their final representative lap times in already, as John Papp has retired from the session. He is very happy. Oh no, he's binned it in turn 5 by looks of things, turn 4-5. So yeah, that is not good for the Red Bull driver. But looking good if you're the likes of the McLaren, as he's invalidated. So unless he gets to the pit lane, he's going to be very, very quick indeed. And with 30 seconds left to go, it is the calm before the storm here. We may have a bit of a timing glitch, because I'm worried a few people are not going to make it in time for the race. But, as in the race. But anyway, here he goes, Tom. I think he's just about going to make it, unless timings do say otherwise. We're going to wait for a few people to come across the line. Jonah with a little bit of a slide there, coming out of, I've forgotten what turn it was. Actually, I think it was turn 12 and 13. So here comes Jonah across the line, past turn 14, and he gets P4. He can't go any better at the moment. Squishy Panda can't improve either. He has invalidated. Unfortunately, Alex Daegu, can he do enough to get it on the front row and beat John Papp? He gets a third though, but still very, very impressive from him. I'm just trying to find anyone else on a lap time at the moment. We have got, I believe, Lefted. Oh, we spun there. I don't think he was meant to do that, the Red Bull driver, but that means he'll be starting in 8th place, as his front wing is completely gone. Bobbitt's can't improve on his lap time either. So all that's left is for LGS and Tom. But LGS had a little bit of a lock up there, which may have costed him time on those medium tyres. So coming across the line now, he's the only man that can stop Tom here today. He can't stop Tom, but where can he qualify? That's P6 for the McLaren driver, and I'm sure he'll be pleased with that. As everyone has finished their lap times, I think we are going to be waiting for the McLaren driver of Bobbitt to go into the pit lane, and it looked like from it looked like from when I was on board, it looked like Lefted actually crashed on purpose. So, you know, I mean, again, stewards might look into this, but we will have to wait and see. So let's look at your race rundown. So Tom in first with a 1:13.4. John Papp in second with 1:13.9. Now we got Alex Daegu in third, Squishy Panda in fourth, Jonah fifth, LGS sixth, and we got potentially 4 drivers that will be investigated after the race due to them being on the wrong tyre. That is Amazing 7th, Hawk in 8th, Lefted on 9th, and Humperdinck in 10th, with Roberts and Callum unfortunately not setting a lap time. So everyone will have to start the tyre that they qualified on. And I'm worried that these guys are going to be put on the intermediate tyres. So they're probably going to be thinking, oh bum, I should have not done that, but we'll have to wait and see. Strategy-wise, it looks like it's going to be mainly soft to hards, I would say, because you would pit around about lap 7 to lap 8-ish around the soft tyre, and the hards could go 29 laps. So probably soft to hards, but softer mediums could push 32 laps. So they're going to hope that there is a safety car. There are 35 laps around this Hungaroring circuit, so a lot left to be desired, but I'm sure most people will do softer hards unless there is a safety car. So we're just waiting for all the drivers to ready up. I hope you're all excited for the next instalment of the Apex Online Racing League for Xbox One F1. And with just 12 seconds left to spare, let's get on with this race very, very soon as well. So we're 2 seconds, 1 second, and let's see what tyres everybody has gone on from. So lap 8 to 9. So I've definitely got the pit stop prediction right, I must say. So to be honest, I'm pretty happy that I got that prediction right, I must say. So we've got Tom and John, the only ones on the mediums, the softs I mean. Obviously Alex Daegu, Squishy Panda, Jonah and LGS, they're starting on the mediums too. Everybody else on the hards. Now obviously we have 4 drivers that will be under investigation, but Roberts and Callum, they're going to be on a good strategy as well. Obviously Callum doing reserve driver duties today in the Renault. Let's see if he can make his way up the grid from 12th. To see, can he do a Perez? Can he do a last to first challenge around the Hungaroring? Never. Anything can happen in Formula 1. As Callum, you do not want to do that. That was almost a disqualification from the formation lap. And the tyres wouldn't have been in good nick either. So Callum's going to be at a huge disadvantage. So let us know your predictions in the chat. Who do you think is going to be winning this race? Is it going to be Tom, or is it going to be the likes of maybe Jonah as well? We could see a different race winner. We could see a heartbreak maybe, or something that possibly that you weren't expecting in Formula 1. So who is ready to see who is going to come out on top? I know I am, and we are about to get started. So we're just waiting for the last few drivers to make their way onto the grid. So Callum G will be the last person to take his grid slot. So there he goes. 35 laps away, our drivers. Will anyone win the race from pole position today? Not many people have this season, but can tonight change all of that? It's going to be a long haul until the lights are on. But here they go. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and we are underway here at the Hungaroring, and it looks like a pretty decent start from John Pat, but Tom drops away a little bit. The Haskar of, I think it's Alex Daegu, has got a really good start of the line into turn 1, so it's John Pat Van Lees into turn 1, but you can see the racing point of Tom getting the switchback of dreams from John Pat. So Tom up into the lead then. John Pap in second, Alex Daegu in third, but we got a few incidents at the back of the field. We got one Haskar spinning, and it was Alex Daegu, unfortunately, who's dropped down into last position on those medium tyres. He probably just spun on his own there, looked like it at the moment, so he's probably going to limp it into the pits. I don't think he's got damage though, but Tom in first, John Pap in second place, Squishy Panda in third position, Jonah having a decent start in fourth place, but John Pat nearly at the start of Dreams, but John Pat must be worried. John is outside of DRS range now of Tom, because when he gets to lap 3, it's going to be really, really crucial. But meanwhile, Left-In has just had a brilliant move past LGS there. There's great maturity on those hard tyres. The hard tyres do last 29 laps, I've got to say. And so that's probably why they're going to push as hard as they possibly can on them. So here we go then. We're going to watch Left-In now, heading towards turn 1. And Maze covers off to the inside. And Left-In tries to take the shortest run possible. And I think he gets it. Quite committed, actually. But we can see a Maze trying to come back here, heading towards turn 3. And heading towards uphill now, heading into turn 4 and 5. The start of sector 2. This is crunch time for Maze. If he does not get this move, he's going to be stuck in traffic for quite a bit. And you can see Callum G is probably getting the most out of the situation. Don't forget, he started last. And he went on to P7 on the grid right now. So he's pushing. He's showing that he does deserve to be in this league. Maybe full-time, potentially, as well as I probably just gave him a commentator's curse there. And probably these guys in Xbox One F1 is never going to let me live that down. So if they go side by side here, heading into the hairpin of, it looks like turn 12. Heading into 13 and 14 now. There they come. Still going side by side again. Callum is he's just fighting every ounce of fibre right now as the DRS is enabled. So it's not going to be enabled at this detection point, but it's going to enable at the next one. But Callum, is he going to get the run on the arrival of a Maze? No, he does not. And I think he loses DRS because of it. It's a long pit stop for Bobbert, so he must have had a front wing change. So he comes out in P8 for now, out of the pit lane. And LGS is now on the hard. So the McLaren boys, unfortunately, they're not having the best day in the office. But don't forget, since there's only a few drivers here today, more chance to score points. We do have someone that's dropped it. I believe that's Callum, who's got a damaged front wing. He's got a damaged front wing, the Renault driver. That's not what he wanted in such a most important race of his life. He's going to limp it into the pits. He's going to probably be kicking himself, the Renault driver. And he's going to lose so much time as he goes into the grass there. He's probably going to have the likes of LGS catching up very soon on those hard tyres. Obviously, LGS and Bobbert, they've already pitted. Hawk 2 on the mediums. Humperdinck as well, and Daegu. So they must have picked some damage along the way. I may check race director in just a second, just to give you a little bit more clearance as to what happened. Callum G now probably was not expecting it, and he's just missed the pits. So, and he's probably trying to retire the car himself, looks like it. But he's just going to lose so much time. He may have a danger of getting lapped soon if he's not careful. And he's going to possibly cause danger to other cars too. But he's still fighting, bless him though. He's still trying to defend for more, but the lap times are going to be considerably slower. And, oh, he's lost it a bit again. That's why he almost lost it last time. He's got Humperdinck right behind him as well. It looks like, by the way Callum G's driving, it looks like Callum G's given up, in a way. Because he's trying to find it, I don't know, or he just may have lost so many downforce. He's gone off again, and he's retired. You know, I'm not really that surprised he's done that. But John Bapper's out as well, as he's retired in surely that's a, wow, that's not a safety car, that's a VSC. Intriguing, very intriguing for John Pat. I thought it would be a safety car personally, but I'm guessing they can get the car clear, and they've already got the car cleared, so the virtual safety car will end very, very soon. And we can see we're down to 10. I think we're down to 10 drivers now. Surely we're down to 10 drivers. So that means every person has an opportunity of scoring points if they finish. Humperdinck gets the move on fresh and mediums then. Side by side, the championship leader is proving why he is the championship leader. But it's a little bit touch between him and Alex Daegu. But Alex Daegu keeps ahead just for now. And still going, his potential will be going side by side. I think Humperdinck is proving that you can overtake in any part of the circuit as well, even though it's difficult. And we're going to see then, he's probably going to get the lunge here as well, which is going to try at that bend, but he just couldn't. Dirty Air is not helping the Mercedes driver at all here. With the number 32 car. Other battles that we are seeing right before our very eyes at the moment is between Jonah, 5/10 up the road on Squishy Panda. And that is going to be intense to say the least if you're an Alfa Romeo fan. Squishy Panda, she could be on for her best result. She could equal her best result, which I believe she got in Baku as well. And meanwhile, Bobbitts overtakes his teammate up into P6. He's probably going to be happy with that result. And probably trying to stretch those medium tyres as long as he possibly can, because they can go around about, according to our tyre data, 22 laps. So they are trying to push it so they can potentially go on the soft to the end maybe, or you could go on the hards. I do not know, but it depends on how many tyres you have available. And that's the thing as well. If you use so many in qualifying, then it could cost you. But again, these guys have got to watch out, I've got to say, towards the end. And John Papp has led the session. He's probably put his head down in shame right now. And he's been doing so well as well. And unfortunately, I might have jinxed him, because I remember saying he was doing so well, and then boom, he just binned it, which was a bit of a shame. But let's hope he can carry on his good reputation in the league. As we go to next week, we head to Belgium next week, which, to be honest, I am looking forward to Belgium. Belgium is a very good track to race in, I've got to say. And the number 19 car of Squishy Panda she's starting to lose a bit of ground to Jonah. You know, Jonah's probably managed well on his tyres compared to Squishy Panda, maybe, due to the fact that Jonah was able to get the gap in. You never know. You never know this situation. And you can see Jonah is gaining lap after lap after lap. It'll be interesting to see the lap times compared to the two of them. And because of these two battling, you can see Tom has stretched the gap to 4.6 seconds. He's on course to be getting a victory. He hasn't scored a victory at all this season. He's came close in Vietnam, Spain, and Monaco. And he could get one on merit today if he can keep up this fantastic performance. Meanwhile, Hawk going side by side into turn one. And he makes it look easy. Does the Williams driver, and Hawk up into 7th place on those older medias by the looks of things. Because we thought LGS was going to make it, but possibly because they are the fresher, well, the softer tyre to be on compared to the hards right now. So maybe for LGS, the hards are hard to keep in temperature, I must say. And I used hard twice in the same sentence, and I shouldn't have done that. So we can see how Hawk does in the second sector, because that will show how much he's gaining to Bobbitts as well. 55.4, so not too bad for him. Tom makes his first pit stop on the hards that will get him until the end of this race. And he's going to probably worry about Squishy Panda and Jonah. Squishy Panda and Jonah, they have got to respond right now. They've got to. Otherwise they're going to be in huge trouble. So I think Squishy Panda's got to have the best in lap she can. So could Jonah as well. So Lefted will take the lead of the Grand Prix, even though Lefted is pushing with dear life at the moment. And don't forget, the pit loss is around about, if I just have a double check, it's around about 19.5 seconds. The gap between the leader, between Tom and Lefted, is 14 seconds. So Tom just needs to get that gap down in order to make sure he secures the lead on track. But I think Jonah and Squishy Panda want to stretch that gap, want to get some tyres in as well. Obviously Tom started on the soft, so he had to pit early, but Squishy Panda and Jonah's medium tyres can go on for just a little bit longer. And the undercut is powerful in some tracks on this game. And who will blink first out of Squishy Panda and Jonah? So 5 tenths separate the gap between both of them. And I know Squishy Panda's holding on for dear life because she's actually leading a Grand Prix. She probably won't be expecting this in the pink helmet car, but she knows she's got a lot of pressure on her shoulders. And Jonah with a little bit of a lock up there and a bit of a touch. Let's may allow Lefted back into the picture. The crossover point could potentially be at this point. Here he comes then. Jonah, though, closes the door on Lefted. But you can see Lefted is eager to get past. He's just waiting for basically both of those drivers to make a mistake. And I think it's going to be really, really tight for, I think, both of them just to keep ahead. And there's a little bit of grass that Jonah must have picked up, so probably not very good for the tyres. Tom has brought the gap now to 12.6 seconds. So that means he'll be comfortably out in front whilst everybody else pits. But don't forget, the other drivers will potentially want to go as long into the race they possibly can to go on the softs, in particular Lefted and the maze. So watch out for these drivers. But here comes Bobberts on the maze then. Bobberts a bit of a lock up again. Again, tyre life may be an issue. Oh, Bobberts getting so close to Amaze's car, but they're trying to race each other, trying to leave as much space as possible. And here we go then. Bobberts takes P5 from Tom, from Amazed. Bobberts will still need to pit again. And to a few of the other drivers, don't forget Bobberts had to pit due to the damage that he was experiencing earlier on in the race, at the start of the race actually. The only guy that does not have to pit is this man here, AMS Tom. He must be loving life as well. Racing Point have won a race in real life, their first ever win in real life. Will Tom be able to replicate that at the Hungaroring? And I know a few Racing Point fans would definitely hope so. The gap now between 4th and 1st is around about 12 seconds. Tom is absolutely flying. I won't be surprised if he gets the fastest lap soon. The fastest lap so far belongs to AMS Tom, actually, with a 1:17.6. I won't be surprised if Lefted could be in the running to also get that fastest lap very, very soon. So again, another driver to watch out for here. I think all three of them using as much curb as they possibly can, and to be honest, they've got to be careful with that. But I think with this equal cards in a multiplayer setting, I think they would definitely get away with it, almost certainly. So we're going to see then all three of them following each other, which is going to be obviously hard due to the dirty air. And we only got one penalty, which is fair play. Hawk is the only one that got a penalty, but we may expect more later due to the warnings that people are getting. Meanwhile, Squishy Panda realised that she can't spend more time on the mediums. I think both of those drivers are going to go on the hards. So we're going to watch Tom now, and he's going to comfortably go out way, I would say, way ahead of Squishy Panda. Just look, 5 seconds maybe. And let me just get the interval gap up. 7.9 is going up. 8.3 seconds. That is just insane from the Racing Point driver. Meanwhile, Squishy Panda stayed ahead of Jonah as they pitted at the same time. Lefted still on race leader. These tyres can go on for quite a bit into the race. But how much longer will these tyres go on for? And you can see a lot of cars having a bit of fights in the background, in particular Amazed and Hawk as well. They're going to probably go guns a-blazing in the next couple of laps or so. Bobbits and Jonah. So Bobbits is right on the back of this train. Bobbits getting a penalty too. And you can see the crossover point is coming. The hard tyres are really good for some of the drivers on them right now. So the ones still yet to pit, or the ones who haven't pitted in a while and staying on the mediums, they, you know, it's going to be tough for them. It's going to be tough for them to come back. So I wonder if Bobbers is going to get a good run into turn 1. Which I doubt he is right now. And we're on lap 15 right now, 35. So we're potentially on the first third of the race. Potentially. Or the second quarter of the race, we like to call it. So 25% done pretty much. And we're almost on the 50% range already. And Amaze just getting a 3-second time penalty. So I think the ones without a time penalty, they're probably going to benefit more today. And Bobbers really wants to close the gap to Humperdinck. And at the moment, Bobbers can definitely close the gap to Humperdinck, which is very, very important. As the train of cars, and Bobbers has got the call from his Jeff to hit instantly. He's got to. He's got to. He doesn't want to be stuck in this traffic for so long. I wouldn't if I was him. It's going to be an absolute nightmare if he doesn't, because the undercut is powerful. If Bobbers is not the first one to pit, he is probably going to be kicking his teeth. As we do have a yellow flag in sector 1. which is LGS, who's just looked like he spun on his own heading towards turn 2. And I'm heading towards turn 3 now. Yeah, it looked like it was a very unfortunate incident for him. And he's way off the pace now, look. 7.5 seconds behind his nearest rival. So, a bit of a shame there, I've got to say. But it's on the up for LGS. And I know LGS has got a good chance to potentially keep some points anyway. So, that's probably why potentially he's getting going. A little bit more of an incentive as well. People can get fastest lap if you finish. So if you get fastest lap, that's an extra point for you. So I think that's what LGS's motivation is. And due to LGS's spinning, he's having to pit extra early if needed. So LGS it's got a change of front wing, so he must have caught the wall when he was spinning. So he's going to be in last place like he was. So he hasn't lost that much of a deal. And Lefty goes to the pits a lot earlier than I thought he was going to do. So I'm suggested that mediums maybe. So let's see what the Red Bull guys are going to put in the pit box. So it looks like it is, if I just get the tyres up again, it is the mediums for him. It can't be the softs because the softs won't last about half, like 15 laps or so of this race. It just can't. And it's probably more than 15 laps to go at this race. So they've got a lot of work to do. There's around about 18 or so laps. So they want to be on the most optimum tyre possible to make sure that they can get some clear air. And let's see how he does then as he heads towards the right-hander. The gap now is coming down. 8.9 now. So he is on the fresher tyre. So this could be maybe a victory for Lefted, which he has been deserving from a very long time. Lefted almost had one last week, but he had to settle for P3. This could be amazing for him. Lefted was so close, just 5 times in a row. Out of the last 5 point scores that he has had, he's been on the podium. So he's still looking favourite maybe to chase Bobberts and Humperdinck in the championship, because you need someone to challenge if things go wrong. And we're seeing Bobberts into the pits now. So I didn't see what that was. So I'm assuming that might be damage. Let me check Race Director again. So Race Director, it is. Let me look. So Bobberts has stopped twice. Oh, let me look at pit stops. I'm looking at the wrong thing. So Bobberts was a scheduled pit stop for him. But he'll definitely have to pit again. Same as Humperdinck, I believe. Let me have a look. Driver stints. So Bobberts died on the hard. Nope, he should be fine to get to the end from here. Humperdinck the same. So everyone has done their mandatory stops on the different tyre compound. And Amaze just set the fastest lap of the race then, so far. We're 160. I was losing track of what the fastest lap was. The fastest lap was a 169. I was right. I thought I was right, but I just got a bit confused. And I think we're getting a few rev glitches, unfortunately. Nope, actually, nope, it's not a rev glitch, luckily, from Bobbert, thank goodness. But I did see a rev glitch somewhere from one of the drivers, so I won't be trying to watch on board from him anytime soon. And we're going to see then who is going to shine here today for the race win, because Left is still could be on course for it. Squishy Panda and Jonah could be an interesting fight for the podium spots. They've both got no penalties, but I did see them get a few warnings, which can be very, very frustrating. We're going to see then as Squishy Panda goes into turn 1 quite nicely indeed. And is trying to keep that Williams under control. She is, and she's doing a fabulous job, but I don't want to say anything more. Bobber's just pitted recently, and Bobber's is up to P5, so looks like Bobber's is having a good comeback of dreams at the moment, I've got to say, so a good job for him. I did say the McLarens were not doing very well, and look at that. They are Bobberting in P5. So I wonder if the reverse psychology was helping him in many ways. Probably yes, I've got to say. And I think it was Alex Daegu that's suffering from the rev glitch, sadly. So I can't go on board with him. Sad times. And don't forget, all these drivers, like I said, can score points if they tend to finish. So, you know, they can't give up. That's going to probably add a lot of motivation into their bellies, I've got to say. And let's watch on board Jonah. How much time has he found on Squishy Panda in that lap? He's also 10th in that final sector. So I wonder how much he's going to gain here. He's got to gain here right now on Squishy Panda. Jonah knows that he could be faster on a good day, but what Squishy Panda is not lacking of right now is consistency. And to be honest, I love consistency. Two tenths per gap now as lost for Jonah, so it's around about 8 tenths per second now. 4.3 seconds is the gap between Tom and Lefted. Lefted is on a charge. I won't be surprised if he was told to push right now. And the Lefted could be on for a really good victory if he keeps this up. But don't forget, a few of the drivers from this lobby will be investigated due to the fact that they qualified on a tyre that they weren't meant to qualify on. I kind of wish that they ban the drivers from doing that in the game. But, you know, it's just a shame that the game doesn't let you make the dry tyres mandatory in a way. Meanwhile, Alex Daegu goes into the pits. Now, is that damage again? Let me have a look. So, no. So, no damage to that again. That was another scheduled pit stop. So, he is going to go on to the mediums until the end. For some of these guys have been on the mediums for quite a bit. It may be a bit of hit and miss for them. But for some of them, I know for definite they are going to make it to the end. And Amaze has just got a 3-second time penalty added. So I believe that might be his first one. No, it's not his first one. And that was, I think, around about 6 seconds was the gap now. 6 seconds worth of penalties. So I think Alex Daegu will get ahead of him if he keeps up the gap nicely. And it's nice and sunny in the commentary box still. And we've got the two Mercedes fighting it out now. Amaze has got the warning light from his dashboard saying that he's got to be careful on his fuel usage. And I think Amaze may be pushing too hard, but he's probably going to potentially save his fuel usage when he maybe potentially overtakes. But if he doesn't overtake, he's going to be at limbo stage, as it were, for a potential very long time. And you wouldn't want to be like that, because otherwise Daegu can catch up. And maybe the train could start to form, and maybe you can see LGS coming back into the equation as well. And to be honest, I'm very, very excited for the prospect of some of these drivers. Some of these drivers have actually qualified for the Pro Draft. No, not the Pro Draft, the Challenger Series. And on my behalf and the part of AOR's behalf as well, is to wish these guys the best of luck. And Lefted, I think, is proving that he's quite fast on this game at the moment. I watch him in a few other leagues as well, and he's just keeping up that pacing right now. And to be honest, Lefted does like the alternate strategy. He wanted it since, I think he likes it since day one. And he is right now on the cusp of potentially taking the race victory away from Tom. And a little bit of an off-topic news, since there's not much going on the track right now except Lefted to catch in. George Russell gets to keep his points for the race today, which, to be honest, I'm relieved about. That's a good consolidation as well. So that's an extra 3 points than he wouldn't have had. So he's finally scored his first F1 point. Yay. 3 points to be exact. I kind of wish it would have been a win, but there we go. He's got points. So, yeah, I'm guessing the Mercedes team would probably be fined, I'm guessing. I think that's what the case is. They're probably fined $20,000. Well, it might be a way of saying they don't want to lose. They don't want to be harsh on George because it wasn't his fault, maybe. So, but that wasn't the same thing. Bottas got punished for something that wasn't his fault in 2015 in the Williams, I believe. So, but we will see. We'll have to find out. 5 tenths now is the gap between Lefted and Tom. Now we could see a dual battle until the end of this Grand Prix. There was one person in the chat that was hoping that Lefted could get the win. This is still on the cards for him. 5 tenths now is the gap between Lefted and Tom. And I mean it. He is pushing for GL Live. And it may go to show that potentially the alternate strategy is a little bit OP. But there we go. There we go. So I think Lefted has found a few attempts in that final sector. So I won't be surprised if he gets fastest lap anytime soon. But there he goes. for the lunge into turn 1. And, oh, look up from Tom, which is probably hurt him, I think, just a little bit more. I'm not entirely sure. And I think some of these guys have been left through a lifeline right now. 2 tenths is the gap now between Tom and Lefted. We're also seeing the battle for the last podium spots, which is great to see. But Tom, the crucial factor, Tom has got a penalty. So whatever happens, if Lefted could stay, within that gap, if they stay within 3 seconds Lefted, he could be getting a win. Jonah, 6 tenths. Both of them not got a penalty. Meanwhile, we're seeing the battle between Humperdinck and Amaze live on, and we've got the battle for P7 as well. And you can see that a few drivers are going to go for the potential, I would say, lunge. And we are heading in towards lap 30 now, so we'll be very soon be 6 laps to go until the race. And loving the helmet, I would got to say, from Amazed. But we're going to see Lefted versus Tom once again. Jonah versus Squishy. And Amazed is probably out of the DRS range of Alex Dagu right now. So that probably means Alex Dagu is probably pushing right now for his dear life. And I think we could be on for a very spicy race. For towards the end there. So lap 30 now, 6 laps to go. Who would have the upper hand for these drivers in the top 4 right now? Alex Dagu could be on for some great points, but I think Hawk is going to be a little bit too close for comfort because of Alex Dagu being 20 seconds behind, which may cost him in the long run, but we will have to wait and see on that one. And I think the race victory could be down to penalties, which be a bit of a shame if you were Tom, because it was not the first time where penalties have decided the race. And it's a bit unfortunate. But here we go then. Lefted going for the lunge. He's got the DRS. He's running out of verge though, which could cost him. Let's see how Tom's hers is. 21. So I think all of the guys were pushing, looks like they were pushing their ERS to the absolute limit here in Hungary. And we do know when we go to Belgium next week, they're just going to be pushing quite a lot, I think, later on. And this could be dangerous. It could be dangerous, but it's definitely for P1 and 2 because the likes of Squishy, Panda and Jonah are also fighting. So, they're going to be relieved that they're still fighting in that sense. But the more that they're battling, the more they're just losing time. And hopefully, I think due to the fact that you can't overtake around this circuit, this may cause I think, Lefted to remain P2 on track. Or maybe he's not pushing due to the fact that Tom has got a 3-second penalty as long as he can keep within that. And we're going to see then, you can see Tom trying to break the slipstream from Lefted. He doesn't want Lefted to have any slipstream at all because you do know how powerful the slipstream is on this game. And we're going to see everybody pushing it, every fibre of their being towards the end there. If you just lose out and if you just wait one small mistake, then that's it. Then that particularly is game over. And I wouldn't want to be that because I definitely want to see a battle for the win. But Jonah has got a 3-second time penalty as well. So that's potentially, if Squishy Panda could keep defending and pushing, she could definitely still be on the podium. And that would probably keep her consistently levels up of being in the points too. Obviously, everybody that is still running will be in the points. So on lap 33 now. So 3 more laps to go. Lefty could go for the lunge now. He doesn't have to, but he wants to win on track. Tom, close the door, but with a lock-up, this might help Lefty's chance here of getting the race victory on track at least. Going towards turn 2 with a lock-up and into turn 3 right now. Lefted with the move of dreams, but I know Tom is coming back at him like a horse right now as he heads towards the uphill section of turn 5 and into turn 6. Lefted gets it done, and Lefted is AOR race leader with 3 laps to go. Absolutely incredible showing from the Red Bull driver who wants to score as many points as he can in order to keep his championship hopes alive. And I know they're going to be doing all they can right now. So, Lefted, final lap. Can he keep it? Tom's got a 6-second penalty now. So he must have got that 6-second penalty due to the issues that he was having earlier on potentially as well. So with 2 laps to go, anything can happen. As we're just watching all the drivers now having their final battles, I think the podium battles remain settled, but Bobbers could potentially get 4th on track as he has a good lunge. I think Jonah does not challenge there, I don't think. Mainly because Bobbers had the edge there on, I think, Jonah. Jonah, I think, knew that Bobbers has more penalties, so Jonah was like, you know what? I'm still going to get P4 anyway. But there could be a danger that Bobbers may start to pull away, and that may ruin Jonah's chances just a little bit. But again, never say never in Formula 1. And we see the crowd cheering for a potential winner here today that has proved in leaps and bounds that he's done amazing. Luckily, no rain, because I think most of the rain, the tracks that I commentated around Hungary, the race in Hungary actually, have been rain affected. So thank goodness this one wasn't rain affected. So on the final lap now, Lefted, the gap's now 1.5. The delta between the mediums and the hards is significantly different, which is why Lefted is able to pull away. And I think Tom is probably comfortable in P2, but he's probably gutted with the penalties because otherwise he could have been on shot with this race victory today. Maybe he thought that he should have had that race victory today, but we've got Bobbert who's got P3. Squishy Panda's made a mistake, but that's probably not going to affect him as Bobbert has got another penalty to match. So Squishy Panda is definitely going to keep that podium. We're going to ride on board with a really good race winner here today. He's rating great moves. So there we go. Lefted has won the Hungarian Grand Prix. Tom come across the line in P2. Robert's in, gonna be in third, but Squishy Panda will take another podium. And I think Squishy Panda will get the podium. But it was very close on track. Jonah gets fourth. Robert's fifth. Hawk sixth. And I believe Alex Sagu will get P7. Fair play to the drivers for not getting any penalties as well. It is really hard to do around this circuit, I must say. So here, Daegu comes across the line in 7th. Amazed will come across the line in 8th. Every car has them in laps, so that's a good thing. And no safety car either. So we're going to wait for Humperdinck to come across the line. And that is P8 for him. LGS will, I think, come across the line in 10th place and scoring the final point. And we've had 2 retirements. And I've got to say, drive of the day is lefted. I've got to say, I've got to agree with that. But will it stay like that due to the fact that the tyres in qualifying may have been a bit of a hindrance, but we'll see anyway. So here we go then. I'm going to get the results up on the screen before we wrap up. So lefted wins with Tom in 2nd, Squishy Panda 3rd, Jonah 4th, Bobberts 5th, Hawk in 6th, Daegu 7th, Humperdinck 8th, Amazed in 9th with LGS in 10th place. And your retirements are John Pap and Callum. And the fastest lap point goes to Hawk with a 1:16.361. We hope you have enjoyed the race so far. Well, the race today, actually. And we will be back for, I would say, the Belgian Grand Prix in Spa, which is, I think, one of my favourite races on the F1 calendar, which I'm very looking forward to. And I know you guys will as well. El Rouge, Kemmel Straight, Lacombe, La Source as well, Pouon, Stabilo, Blanchemont, and the bus stop chicane as well. There's a lot of corners where there could be some great battles and a lot of corners where it could go really wrong. I've been Jess Games 95 and have a good evening, everybody. And we will see you next Sunday for the Belgian Grand Prix. We will let you enjoy the rest of your evening. And have a good evening, everybody. Good night.